Good evening. Good evening, YouTube. There we go. We're good. Alrighty, everybody. Let's get cooking. Let's see what the news has for us this evening. Hope everyone's doing wonderfully out there. I'm about ready for that caffeine to start hitting me, that second cup for the day. Let me see what I have bagged. Oh, this is pretty cool. Just great footage. Excellent.
Great honor to be here. And I'm thrilled to be here among thousands of proud American patriots. The cherished alliance between the United States and Japan is one of the most remarkable relationships in the entire world. As Commander-in-Chief, I never forget that our ultimate strength does not come from equipment. It comes from the men and women of the rank and file. No enemy will ever even dream of threatening America's Navy. There's no Navy even close. Nobody can do what we do. Nobody has what we have. For 2.5 centuries, America's Navy has preserved the vision of our first Commander-in-Chief, who gave the ship its storied name, its righteous soul, and its timeless motto: first in war, first in peace.
That was pretty cool. All right. Let's see. Oh, some weird stuff going on in Oregon. 2 separate school closures due to handwritten threats in bathrooms. In one case, a porta potty. In which case, the threat read, F the Oregon City cops and F them so much on 10/28/25 when I show up with 2 others, all of us with guns, with mags that hold a 100 223s and 4 timed set bombs. Think this is a joke and you will see cops and kids die. Love the 3 shit home men and girl. No idea. Or man and girl? Not sure. P.S. I like the truck's car bomb. A little disjointed. Authorities say the school doesn't yet know who wrote the message. It was clearly left inside a porta potty. What are these kids doing going to school where they have to go into the porta potty to pee? By the way, like, do they not have actual restrooms at the school? They have to use porta potties? Oh, nice. But that's not all. There was a second one. There's apparently a second one. At Wilsonville High School. Handwritten threat prompts Wilsonville High School closure today, Wednesday. Referencing a weapon and October 29th. So now, the next day. Last one, the other one was October 28th. The date mentioned. This one, I guess, read October 29th. It seems like it's the same person. Or maybe a group of people. Creepy. Oh my goodness. Here is now what is shaping up to be the mainstream left of the modern era. A liberal podcaster, Jennifer Welch here, suggests that the Democrat establishment needs to get on board with wanting conservatives dead, or else far leftists will come after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. That's right. Be totally fine with wanting MAGAs dead or else. That's the message.
Finally,
This is truly insane.
if you think the Zoran thing is happening just in New York and you think people are waking up only in New York City, you're mistaken. Look at this clip of a wine mom at the No Kings March. Play the clip.
His name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes,
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well, I'm
Would
so
you be
sorry.
glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
Look at that reaction. People are fried. I would never about one of them, as sick as they are. Never say this about them.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period. Stop taking AIPAC money. Go on an I'm sorry I took AIPAC money atonement tour if you want to stay in power. Stop missing out on these big rallies. Hakeem and Chuck should have been front and center introducing the next mayor of New York City, but no, they wouldn't show up because they're pussies. They're pussies that are beholden to the same corporations that that helped Donald Trump get elected. And this is just an embarrassment. Kudos to Bernie, to AOC, to Zoran. And that woman out in somewhere middle America saying, fuck Charlie Kirk, he was a racist, he was a piece of shit. There are so many more of us than there are of them. And these Democrats that continue to play patty cake with corporations and
The bubble. Oh my God, the bubble.
lobbyists. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants you. We want politicians to speak freely and look at what the benefit is. Look
Dear
at what
God.
is happening in New York. And you dipshits are sitting on the sidelines, running your social media like complete dorks. It's embarrassing. Get your shit together. Hakeem and Chuck, seriously get your shit together because the Democratic Party is moving on. We are moving
Troubling. Frickin' troubling. They're feeling so emboldened as to suggest things like that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, video evidence. What is this? Oh, on October 23rd, so not even a week ago, Border Patrol agents conducted enforcement operations near 27th and Whipple Avenue. Excuse me. I don't know where's the Chicago? Okay. A large crowd of 75 to 100 rioters surrounded law enforcement who set up a perimeter after agents were boxed in by large box trucks. Rioters then shot at agents with commercial artillery shell fireworks. Border Patrol transport van carrying illegal aliens attempting to get to the safety of the perimeter was then attacked. Border Patrol agents were able to secure the van and get it into the perimeter. The mob of rioters grew more hostile and violent, advancing towards agents and began throwing rocks and other objects at agents, including one that struck Chief Greg Bovino in the head. Oof. Border Patrol agents repeated multiple warnings to back up and that chemical agents would be deployed if warnings were ignored. Riot control measures were, of course, deployed, including by Chief Bovino, and arrests were made. Agents properly used their training. The use of chemical munitions was conducted in full accordance with CBP policy and was necessary to ensure the safety of both law enforcement and the public. I'm guessing they're complaining about this. Yeah, here. Whining about Bovino tear gassing a crowd. Oh, wow. I love how they're like using the Halo music. Bizarre.
If you back up, that'd be good.
Oh, JD Vance getting asked about UFOs. Okay, why not?
One last question about UFOs. So I'm a mad UFO lunatic
Me
as
too.
well.
Yeah.
So, and you said, I think the Ruthless podcast
I
that you
did.
were going to, in August, you were going to figure out
Yeah.
what happened. So
Yeah.
have you
That was a little
managed?
tongue in cheek. I have not figured it out yet. I
Right.
haven't had the time to figure it
No.
out yet.
But you've got access to all this.
I do. And I
classified.
really want to sort of dig into it. You know, Marco's actually very interested in this too.
Ah.
We talked about this a little. We
Really?
talked about this back in our Senate days. So yeah, there's certainly an interest there. There's certainly an intrigue, but I haven't yet had the time to really dig in. Things have been so busy. But this is the crazy person inside of me. And there's, you know, all of us put the tinfoil hat on from time to time. I'm like, I was like, I can't allow myself to become so busy that I spend the next 3 years and I don't get to the bottom of this. So I will get to the bottom of this, but it's going to take me a little time.
Because Tulsi Gabbard says that she believes there are aliens. Do you believe that?
You know, I don't, it's interesting. I wouldn't say that I do or don't believe it. I mean, I'm a big believer that there are things out there that we can't explain. And so if another person sees an alien, maybe I see an angel or a demon. So I'm a big believer that there are like spiritual forces working on the physical world that a lot of us don't see and a lot of us don't understand and a lot of us don't appreciate. But, you know, is it aliens or is it our guardian angel, or is it aliens or is it a not so guardian force that doesn't care about us or in fact actively wishes us harm? I don't know the answer to that question. What I try to do is I try to say my prayers. I try to be as good of a person as I can be, and I try to do a good job. And hopefully that's all I need to do.
Fair enough. All right. Interesting. Oh gosh. London. A caller to the show crying. We're not racist. We're petrified.
I live in the borough right next to Hillingdon.
Yep.
And I moved into my house in 2019. My local shop, there's been 3 stabbings, 1 murder since then.
Wow.
My friend was murdered last year up on the high street. Girl I know was murdered in Southall Park. The government are failing us. I'm so scared for my children. I have a 22-year-old son, and I'm begging him to move out of the country.
Oh my goodness, I feel for you.
What are these politicians doing to us? They're putting our children in so much danger. They're putting everyone in danger, and they're not doing nothing to help us.
And that's the thing a lot of us feel. That, you know, how many is too many?
Wow.
They're pushing us to do something that we don't want to do. We are peaceful people. British people never vote against their government.
Yeah.
They're going to push us to it because they're not listening to us. Our friends, our family are dying. I had a cousin murdered 20 years ago who was stabbed to death, and nothing's changed, Julia.
I'm so sorry, Sarah. I'm sure I speak for everyone listening and watching right now. My heart goes out to you, and that's the reality.
I don't leave the house without a man.
You're that worried.
Wow.
Everyone I know is getting stabbed.
Don't leave the house without a man. Everyone I know is getting stabbed.
They're getting raped in parks.
Raped
this is
in
where
parks.
I live, not where the politicians live.
Do you think that's part of the issue, that they don't live in the real world?
Keir Starmer, if you're listening to this, please do something. I'm petrified. I've never broken the law in my life. I've been a law-abiding citizen. I've been a civil servant. Please do something. It's us that are dying on the streets.
Wow.
You talk about being racist. We're not racist. My sister's mixed race. I was a white child brought up in a mixed race family. Nothing to do with race.
Exactly.
To do with our safety.
Sarah, I mean, 100%. we agree with you every single word, and I'm so sorry. I'm sending you a big hug over the ether, and I'm sure everyone else is.
Man, just stop talking. Let her talk. She's doing great. Man. I don't know if that call went on or more. It's not. Jeez. I'll give her a follow. Presenter there. That was quite a call. Oh yeah, Grassley held a press conference on Arctic Frost Day. Ooh.
Jared Kushner and Lara Trump. Some subpoenas to individuals and businesses sought statistical data and analysis relating to donors and fundraising efforts. Arctic Frost was the vehicle by which FBI agents and DOJ prosecutors could improperly investigate the entire Republican political apparatus. Contrary to what Smith has said publicly, this was clearly a fishing expedition. If this had happened to Democrats, they'd be as rightly outraged as we are outraged.
Oh, worse than that, they would be calling for heads on pikes. They would be.
We're making these records public in the interest
freaking out, man.
Of transparency, and so that the American people can draw their own conclusions. Senator Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley. I want to thank the chairman. I want to thank his staff for their tenacity and their cooperation in all of our joint investigations. I think it's important to note that the records that we are now making public and for personal transparency were not obtained from the agency. They were obtained through a whistleblower. So my first point is we need more whistleblowers. We need people, men and women inside these agencies who have integrity, who want to see the integrity and credibility of the Department of Justice, of the FBI restored, come forward. Because right now I think Kash Patel, Pam Bondi are overwhelmed by all of the messes they're trying to clean up. The agencies have been, lost a lot of personnel. People simply couldn't serve the Trump administration. It's hard to hire people because of all the lawfare. And there's still partisan actors burrowed in trying to sabotage their efforts. So we need whistleblowers. The reason they come forward to Chairman Grassley is because he's been such a champion of whistleblowers. So again, I thank him for that. What is revealed in those 1,700 pages of documents, in those 197 subpoenas, is nothing short of a Biden administration enemies list. I'm old enough to understand how toxic a term that was under Richard Nixon. This is far worse, orders of magnitude worse. People need to understand how politicized the Biden administration turned all these agencies. And again, the best way to describe President Biden's attitude were his exact quotes. He thought basically half America were domestic terrorists. In September 2022, in front of Independence Hall, he said, Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundation of our republic. A year later in New York City, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy. Now, nothing could be further from the truth. That is a level of paranoia that's actually astonishing. But the fact that 38 Wisconsinites are on that enemies list. I know most of those individuals. They are God-fearing, country-loving, law enforcement supporting people who want to see America succeed. The fact that they are on a Biden administration enemies list, were targeted by that administration, is outrageous. It should shock every American. And so I am calling on, and I appreciate all the members of the Judiciary Committee, we need to get to the bottom of this. Yep. We need to do everything we can to assist Director Patel and AG Bondi in making sure that they have the staff to take control of these agencies. They're the heads of them. I don't think they have the control. I think they're being sabotaged within. But the American people need to understand exactly what happened. And again, I'm calling on members of the Judiciary Committee to help Senator Grassley and myself get to the bottom of this so we can expose this, so this doesn't happen again in America. This has to end. With that, I'll turn it over to Senator Cornyn.
I want to thank
Oh
Senator
boy, it's Cornyn.
Grassley and Senator Johnson for their perseverance in this investigation. This is the United States of America. It's not a banana republic. It's not a country that condones partisan lawfare against your political opponents. We don't have the time to go through all of the many ways that the Democratic Party and President Trump's opponents tried to target him and tried to destroy him, including people like James Comey, who single-handedly wanted to get a special counsel appointed, where a 2-year investigation followed with no result, no evidence of any legal violation. But I can't think of any greater evidence of weaponization in the fact, as you heard from Senator Grassley and Senator Johnson, this extended far beyond President Trump and extended to President Trump's supporters, not only here in the United States Senate, but more broadly. Jack Smith did not act alone. Yes, he was a special counsel. He was appointed by Merrick Garland, and he had responsibilities to report to Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, Joe Biden's Attorney General, under the rules regarding special counsel. Merrick Garland was a member of Joe Biden's cabinet. He was willing to do whatever Joe Biden and his political operation wanted him to do, including destroying President Trump, including abusing our justice system for partisan purposes. And here, to me, is the most troublesome part of all this. If they would do that to the President of the United States, if they would do this to United States senators and members of Congress, what would they do to you? People.
What have they done to you? What have they done to all of us? Not what will they? What have they?
People who don't enjoy the bully pulpit or the platform that elected representatives have. This ought to be a chilling message to each and every American who loves this great country and believes in our constitutional system and equal justice under the law. Thank goodness for Senator Grassley and Senator Johnson for their investigation, but we will get to the bottom of this. Senator Cruz.
Arctic frost is Joe Biden's Watergate. Merrick Garland was a fundamentally corrupt attorney general. Jack Smith was a fundamentally corrupt prosecutor. This was a political enemies list from the beginning. 197 subpoenas for 430 Republican entities and individuals. That is an absolute and egregious abuse of power. The Biden Justice Department signed off on issuing subpoenas for the phone records of at least 9 U.S. senators. 20% of the Republicans in the United States Senate were the target of this fishing expedition. They did so in complete contravention of the Constitution, of separation of powers, of the speech and debate clause, of free speech, of basic rights of privacy. This is an executive who believes it is justified spying on their opponents in the legislature because they convince themselves the ends justify the means. I want to talk to you about one of those subpoenas. One of those subpoenas went from Jack Smith to AT&T, seeking my cell phone communications.
Oh.
It went to AT&T, and I actually want to commend AT&T for doing the right thing. AT&T is based in Texas. AT&T looked at that subpoena, and they went to their legal counsel. And they said, what should we do with that subpoena? And their legal counsel said, you cannot comply because this is protected by the speech and debate clause of the U.S. Constitution. And so AT&T declined to comply, did not hand over my cell phone records. Now, one might ask, ordinarily, a phone company being asked to hand over the phone records of a sitting senator would notify that senator. Well, there was a reason AT&T did not do so. Accompanying the subpoena was an order, which I have in my hand right here, an order that was signed by Judge James E. Boasberg. Now, who is Boasberg? Boasberg is that radical leftist judge who is out of control.
How about that?
Who has been issuing nationwide injunctions, one after the other, trying to stop President Trump from carrying out his mandate from the voters. Judge Boasberg issued an order to AT&T and signed that order, prohibiting AT&T from informing me of this subpoena for at least 1 year.
Keeping it secret.
And Judge Boasberg gave the basis for that order. And I'm going to quote from the order Judge Boasberg signed. The court finds reasonable grounds to believe that such disclosure will result in destruction of or tampering with evidence, intimidation of potential witnesses, and serious jeopardy to the investigation.
What a load of shit.
That's an order a judge signed. Now, I can tell you right
That's
now,
absurd.
there is precisely zero evidence to conclude that I am likely to destroy or tamper
Intimidate
with evidence.
witness? Like, get out. Yeah,
Or to
what?
intimidate potential witnesses. Zero evidentiary basis for that. This order is an abuse of power. This order is a weaponized legal system. My assumption, we don't have the subpoenas that were issued for the other senators, but my assumption is Judge Boasberg printed these things out like the placemats at Denny's, one after the other.
Wow.
We don't know that for a fact, but I feel confident that he can.
Oh, yeah, we can infer with pretty high likelihood.
It's likely that Lindsey Graham would destroy evidence, and Marsha Blackburn would destroy evidence, and Eric Schmidt would destroy evidence, and Chuck Grassley would destroy evidence.
Oh, okay, that now.
If a litigant makes a claim for which there is no factual basis, that litigant is subject to sanctions in federal court.
Yeah.
And if a judge signs an order reaching a factual conclusion for which there is zero evidence whatsoever, that judge is abusing his power. I am right now calling on the House of Representatives to impeach Judge Boasberg. Judge Boasberg put his robe down, stood up, and said, "Sign me up to be part of the partisan vendetta against 20% of the Republicans in the Senate." That is a dereliction of duty and a violation of the judicial oath. And I want to thank Chairman Grassley and Chairman Johnson for pursuing this tenaciously like a dog on a bone. We are going to get the answers of every person who signed off on this abuse of power, and mark my words, there will be accountability for these zealots who wanted to corrupt the Department of Justice and corrupt the judiciary in order to try to attack their enemies list. That is unconstitutional, it is immoral, and it is wrong.
Yep.
Senator Kennedy.
I'm next.
Oh. All right.
Well, I'm one of those senators that did have their records revealed. Verizon is my wireless carrier, and Verizon never challenged, never moved to quash. They complied with the subpoena that went forward on our record.
How disgusting.
Now, Ted talked about the speech and debate clause. This is also a violation of our First Amendment and Fourth Amendment rights. It is a violation of the separation of powers. It is a violation of the Stored Communications Act. I am looking forward to bringing Jack Smith before us. I am looking forward to bringing the wireless companies before us.
There you go.
And finding out exactly what happened. No citizen of the United States should ever be subject to treatment like this. And as Senator Cornyn said, if they are doing this to us, what did they do to all the moms and dads that went to school board meetings? What did they do to the pro-lifers that stood on a sidewalk and held a sign?
What did they do to people like me?
Did they do to people that were supporting President Donald Trump or people that were supporting Republican candidates? Jack Smith moved forward after Christopher Wray wrote a memo on April 4th of 22. And you all should read the memo. It is how to write, it's going to be textbook for how to write a fishing expedition memo. Nebulous, vague language, alleging, assuming, things that should never be done. And then Lisa Monaco puts her her mark on it, encouraging Merrick Garland to sign it so that they could put Jack Smith in as a special counsel. Thank goodness, Kash Patel has fired every single person that was in that CR-15 unit, every single one of them. But we need to have hearings. We have encouraged the DOJ to refer Jack Smith to the Office of Professional Conduct, and they need to work with us to provide the documents so we can have a more fulsome picture about what has transpired with this. It is worse than Watergate. It is deep, it is wide, and we are just beginning to scratch the surface.
Way worse.
Okay, and Schmidt.
Well,
Lindsay.
We'll do it by height. I'll go.
You're on the short end of that.
Yeah. I'm closer to the earth. So here's what I'm thinking about. If Trump had not run in 2024, would any of this happened? So what I want to explain to the people of the country is that within several days of him announcing, I'm going to seek the White House again, an avalanche began to form. And I really do believe that none of this would have been happening if Trump had set out the 2024 cycle. But once he announced, I'll have my own chart one day, we'll show you what happened and when it happened. Within about 8 months of announcing, he had 91 felony charges against him in Georgia and New York and other places. So here's what I think, that when he said he wanted to have a political comeback, it triggered the Democratic machine to destroy him before he could ever get started. And in their effort to destroy him, there were no boundaries. The goal was to stop Trump and to look at anything and everything that could stop Trump and ignore the Constitution and a lot of other things. I was the chairman of the Judiciary Committee in January 2021. I don't know about you, but I'm offended that somebody in 2023 would subpoena my phone records to find out where I was at when I called somebody and who I called and where they were at. It's none of their damn business. I have a constitutional duty, like the rest of us here, as chairman of the committee regarding the 2020 election. I don't think the 2020 election bothered anybody until Trump decided to run in 2024, legally. So what I want to do is pursue what happened system-wide. Was there contact between Jack Smith and Fani Willis? I got caught up in that crap. I'd spent over $1 million. Now, she's been kicked off the case. Was there a coordination between Jack Smith, Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James? Did they talk? Did they share information? Is it just an accident that all this happened within days of Trump announcing, and within 8 or 9 months, the Republican candidate, one of the candidates for president, had 91 felony charges in the deepest blue districts in the friggin' country? You think that happened by accident? I don't think so. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. And I want to know, was there any coordination between Fani Willis and New York by Jack Smith? We're going to get every piece of paper we can get, and I want Jack Smith to come forward, but I want the information first. He's not coming and testify when we're in the dark to the Justice Department. Please expedite the requests made by Senator Grassley and Johnson to give us any information that may exist between Jack Smith and Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, and Letitia James. I want to know, did they talk? If they talked, what did they talk about, and when did they talk? As to me, I want to know why Verizon did the opposite of AT&T. I want to know what they asked for and how deep and how wide it went. Now, I want to know if there's an order signed by a federal judge basically slandering me, saying you can't tell Lindsey Graham because he'll do bad things. Now, if that happened, I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to give it a pass, nor is Ted or the rest of us. So we're going to get to the bottom of it for the benefit of the future. If this can happen to Trump, it can happen to anybody that the system doesn't like. And the system one day can come after you, is what's being said here. So people literally need to pay a price for this. Some people may need to go to jail. Some people may need to be fired. But if they violated my constitutional rights, if they trampled on the separation of powers involving me, I'm going to sue the hell out of these people.
I think what happens sometimes in this town is that we have multiple news cycles in one day, and big events can sort of get lost in all the things that are happening in the news of the day. But I think that in this instance, I can't think of a bigger political scandal in the last 100 years. So if you want to compare it to Watergate, this is 100 times worse than Watergate, and here's why.
At
To
least.
sort of amplify the point that Senator Graham was making, 3 days after President Trump announced he was running for president, this system was weaponized against him. Jack Smith, who is notorious in prosecutor world as being a Stalin-like, show me the man, I'll show you the crime prosecutor. That's the guy you appoint when you want to get your political opponent. He's a dirtbag. A dirtbag. And I hope he comes before this committee. He's got a lot to answer to. He not only went after President Trump, he went after sitting senators. At the time, I was the chairman of the Republican Attorneys General Association. Ashley Moody was also on the executive board. He came after us. And also hundreds of other people who happened to be Republicans in the United States of America. What else happened? The number 2 prosecutor in Atlanta, a state prosecution of President Trump, which was ridiculous to begin with, somehow meets with the White House. The number 3 person at the Department of Justice leaves the number 3 job at the Department of Justice to go work for Alvin Bragg, a state prosecutor. Why is that? This was an effort to go after political opponents in America like we have never seen before. It can never happen again. And let me pull a couple people out outside of Jack Smith. Judge Boasberg. Judge Boasberg gave a speech about how he was going to thwart the Trump agenda before he got those cases. He was not the assignment judge. The D.C. courts have a daily assignment judge. He wasn't the assignment judge. He's on vacation. Somehow gets these cases at 1 in the morning. Was he tipped off? Did somebody tell him these cases against President Trump and his agenda now were coming? I don't know. We should find that out. But Judge Boasberg, what he did to Senator Cruz and maybe other senators, absolutely, and I don't say this lightly, absolutely is worthy of impeachment proceedings. There has to be accountability. The American people have heard a lot about this, and you're going to hear more. We should have Watergate-style hearings on this for months. If we're ever going to root this out, we have to be serious about it, and consequences have to follow. Resignations, firings, criminal prosecutions. You simply can't, in this country, use the justice system to throw people in jail because they have a red jersey on or a blue jersey on. It's completely unacceptable, but they never forgave President Trump for coming down the escalator in the first place. That's what this whole thing is about. And they can't actually believe they're in the position now that the American people sent him back. And if he didn't win, not just did he run, if he wouldn't have won, we would never know any of this stuff.
Absolutely.
It's just the mere fact that he won, delivered a historic political comeback nobody alive today has ever seen. Is this an issue? So we have to actually do something about it, or it will happen again. I want to thank Chairman Grassley for his leadership. Only because of the respect that he has with whistleblowers and his dogged determination and that of Senator Johnson are we even here today. And there's a lot more to come. This is just what we know right now. There's a lot more that's going to come.
Okay.
We appreciate you hanging with us and paying attention as we went through all of this today. If you don't know me, I'm Ashley Moody. I am the most junior member of the Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
But I showed up in January. I've been here 9 months, and I cannot tell you how shocked I have been at what transpired under the last administration. I now show up with a background as not only a lawyer, a federal prosecutor, a judge for over a decade, and the Attorney General of Florida to make sure that this country gets back on course. Because let me tell you about countries like Venezuela, whose own government went after their enemies, and that didn't just include those who were rightfully and duly elected by the people. They went after news organizations and journalists. They went after allies and people who supported freedom and democracy. And most of the people from that country who fled reside now in the state of Florida. Meeting with former Supreme Court justices from Venezuela, I heard time and time again, this story that we're telling you today. You heard Senator Cruz tell you that a judge said that he may destroy evidence. This is one of the preeminent lawyers in our country
So insane.
who argued in front of the Supreme Court, who has dedicated his life to service, who fights for the future of this country. And you had an administration go after him. If you are issuing subpoenas, you're saying they're related to a criminal investigation. And you had a judge say that he could destroy evidence? Think about that. They were trying to wipe out the leaders of a cause for a next generation. From elected leaders to news media, multiple outlets, journalists, even donors. If you're watching this right now, oh yes, there were even subpoenas issued on donors. Your information. If you believed in a cause and thought so highly of it, those things that we stood for, and you put your money where your mouth was, your information was sought. So when you hear them say, imagine that they're doing this to us, they could do this to you, they did do it to you. And we only know this because the president was elected again. And I can tell you right now, you've heard them say we need to do our jobs, impeachment needs to be on the table. Impeachment wasn't just a theory or an idea or some hypothetical one day. If there was ever an instance to root out judges that were not following the law or not being independent or were not living up to their oath, this is it. Impeachment cannot be a scarecrow. We must use that tool to make sure the public can trust in our judiciary again, can trust in our justice system again. Because if you ask the Supreme Court justices that fled to the United States from Venezuela, they would tell you when their justice system went, when the people no longer trusted that it was independent, they lost their nation. And I, for one, as the rookie of judiciary and the rookie of the United States Senate, are here to fight for this country. It will not fall under our watch. And you have our word.
Here, here. Direct your questions to whichever senator you want to ask them to.
Good, Preston. This is a really good one. Wasn't really expecting to watch the whole thing here, but they're bringing it. They're doing good.
When can Lindell and really all other Americans know what to extent and
I know they take questions. Good.
And or surveilled and all of this? And will there be a full list released of every American that was involved?
Can't make out the question.
Well, I think my colleagues could speak to this as well, but I think that we're going to just prove what the government has tried to do. We get more documents to do it, and we don't know everybody that's probably been involved yet, but we've got evidence that too many people, and this process should have never gone ahead. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I know we've had a lot of special counsels in recent years, and I know that you guys at the judiciary are planning on investigating this. Is this something that you think the Trump administration should appoint a special counsel to investigate?
I'd love to handle that.
Yeah.
So having been involved in investigations now for about 10 years, the first thing I notice when there's a special counsel or a criminal investigation, we never get access to the information. And if crimes aren't charged, that all gets sealed, and the American public never knows what happened. So I've called on Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, do a rigorous internal investigation for the purpose of turning those documents over to Congress so that we can examine people, we can take testimony, we can hold hearings, so the American people know what happened. We bind this up in a legal process right away, we'll never know. So I am, at some point in time, criminal referrals, at some point in time, criminal investigations, prosecutions, or special counsels, but that should not be the first thing we should do.
I would see this process, if a special counsel was appointed, whoever made that decision to appoint it, they'd want to shut down our investigation. Yes, over there.
Senator Grassley, do you agree with your colleagues that Judge Boasberg should be impeached? And if so, what do you think that process would look like?
I'm sorry, I've got hearing problems, so speak louder.
Do you agree with your colleagues that Judge Boasberg should be impeached, as they just mentioned? And if so, how would that process play out?
With the hearings, you mean? Well, first of all, we want to make sure that we have all the documents, all the information that we can possibly get, so we know when these people that come before us, they know what to say or not to say, and we got to make sure that we got the documents so when they lie to us, we can challenge them.
Can I say something about that? Impeachment starts in the House. I think what Ted's saying is based on this order. He hopes the House will look at whether or not this judge abused his authority. I am 1,000% supportive of that idea. I cannot believe that a federal judge would sign an order informing a senator for a year regarding a request coming from Jack Smith because they think Ted Cruz would tamper with witnesses, withhold, or destroy evidence. That's unbelievable.
It's nonsense.
What made you think that? What evidence did you have? That really did shut down the systems as it's supposed to. You're supposed to tell us when we have our phone records asked for. That's actually a law somewhere. Well, the judge overrode that. Why? How could he possibly conclude that? What evidence did he have? If there's no evidence, then I think he chilled the ability of Senator Cruz to be able to react in real time and violated the way this whole system's set up. They're supposed to call us. We had a judge's order saying, don't tell Ted for a whole year because Ted may destroy evidence and tamper with witnesses. That is BS. I hope somebody will look at that.
And just one tweak. The judge didn't say I may destroy evidence. The judge signed an order that says the court finds reasonable grounds to believe that such disclosure will result in destruction
Oh,
or
wow.
tampering with evidence, intimidation of potential witnesses, and serious jeopardy to the investigation.
Wow.
And that is utterly without basis in fact. There was no evidence to support that. If the prosecutor made that representation, the prosecutor perjured himself.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I'd bet $20 this judge cranked out an order like that for every single senator down up here. We just happen to have mine. But it's boilerplate. If you're a Republican, you're on the enemies list, I find that you will destroy evidence. And so we're going to let the executive surveil you without Congress ever knowing about it.
Let me apologize to you for not hearing your question right.
Sir.
Can we talk about a little bit about what these subpoenas were looking at, what they were trying to pull back? Are we talking about fundraising around January 6th? What we just didn't really get a clear understanding of what those subpoenas were, what they were trying to look at in these Republican organizations.
Well, an awful lot of it was about the elector case, which you have to understand. I mean, in Wisconsin, we had an alternate slate of electors. We had probably the most experienced and knowledgeable election attorney judge, Judge Troupas, handled the president's case. He thought it in the best interest of his client that he would appoint an alternate slate of electors. So if he prevailed, he wouldn't end up like Al Gore before the Supreme Court. Well, even if you win, you don't have an alternate slate of electors. They tried to criminalize that. Even though our Attorney General's office said that there was nothing improper about that alternate slate of electors, the news calls those fake electors. The Attorney General now of Wisconsin is trying to put Judge Troupas away for life. He's trying to he's criminalizing. He's indicted him on felonies. So a lot of it was about the whole alternate elector part. But, you know, by and large, it was just a weaponization. It was. I mean, the timeline, I meant to do that. I want to keep my remarks short, but let's just go through the timeline. It's important. In April of 2022, Garland approves that electoral case. Okay, that's April 22. August of 22, they raid Mar-a-Lago. September 19th was the first subpoenas issued in this whole investigation. As other senators pointed out, November 15th, Trump announced his candidacy. 3 days later, Jack Smith is appointed. June 2023, Jack Smith indicts Trump. August, he indicts him again. In August 6th, there's a briefing on Jack Smith's Art Frost case revealing log collection from 9 members of Congress. That happened, after all this occurred. What are they doing collecting records after that point? And the final point of this, in November of 2023, Lisa Monaco changes the procedures on collecting telephone information or information on members of Congress. Like somebody at some point in time realized we better cover our backside. So again, this was an enemies list. This was a political witch hunt, and it's all politicized. It's all about trying to keep President Trump out of office.
And let me add a little bit in answer to your question. So President Trump announced his candidacy in November of 2022. This subpoena was signed on May 25th of 2023. So it was about 6 months after he announces his candidacy. I assume the others were contemporaneous, although we don't have that information. You asked what did it cover. Here's what the attachment to the subpoena says. Provide the following records from January 4th, 2021 through January 7th, 2021. Subscriber information. Names, including subscriber names, user names, and screen names. Addresses, including mailing addresses, residential addresses, business addresses, and email addresses. All call detail records, including but not limited to detail records for inbound and outbound calls, text messages, direct connect, and voicemail messages. So every text that a sitting senator received, every text that a sitting senator sent, every voicemail that you had, all of the data the phone company had. Length of service, including start date, types of service, and it goes through means of source of payment for such service. It goes through record of sessions, times, and durations, and temporarily assigned network addresses, such as internet protocol addresses associated with those sessions. So they're looking for, among other things, geolocation of where you were. This is flat-out surveillance. And by the way, the Supreme Court has concluded that law enforcement can't get geolocation from a cell phone without particularized evidence of a crime. They didn't have that. This was a fishing expedition to say, give me everything you got on 20% of the Republicans in the Senate.
Like 30 months after the 2020 election.
Yeah.
Just real quick, Jack Smith recently said he wanted to testify in a public setting, and that he served a list of preconditions. First, do you have an update on whether or not he'll testify, and any of those preconditions kind of stand out to you? Problems that he has?
You're saying Jack Smith wants to testify? Yeah, again, we need the documents first so we can determine whether he's telling us the truth or not. Otherwise, he comes in with all the advantage. So no, we need those documents. That's why we need Cash Patel. We need them to gain control of their agency, which is difficult to do, to turn these records over so we're prepared to either have them give a transcribed interview or do a hearing. Now, I will say, too, Senator Cruz talked about his subpoena. We released the subpoenas. They are broad. These are not narrow targeted subpoenas. They're looking for everything but the kitchen sink. I mean, trust me, you would not want to get a subpoena like that.
And let me also put, just from the AG perspective, if it wasn't for when I was AG and the Republican AGs pushed back on the Biden agenda, right? We took the vaccine mandate to the Supreme Court, we won. On the student loan, and won. We took the student loan debt forgiveness case to the Supreme Court, and we won. We fought against all the overreach from COVID. We took on all those issues and won. So if that's a predicate for criminal prosecution, because you're the constitutionally elected lawyer for the people of your state, pushing back against illegal activity from a president, I can't think of a more chilling activity that this previous administration headed by Biden and then of course his minions who were doing his dirty work were. That's again why I think it's just easy to kind of like, oh, there's another, whatever's another story, and there's another, like, if you put this in its full context and laid it out in a book, you would not think it happened in the United States of America.
Who wants the very last question?
You.
Thank you.
Last one.
Kind of piggybacking off of this question about Jack Smith's public testimony, if that's happening. You guys are saying that you need Kash Patel to get you those documents. Do you have any estimate on a timeline of what that would look like? Are you sending people to help? What is that? You're saying you need staff?
So what I can just say in terms of my own staff's working with Kash Patel, again, he's doing everything he can, but we're getting reports that they are having very difficult time getting documents. We ran the same problem with Bobby Kennedy, HHS. He's for radical transparency. It took months for him to break the logjam inside HHS to get us the documents. So again, this is a challenge. That's why he's, again, the Judiciary Committee's got to do everything they can to help Kash Patel get control of his agencies, get us those documents.
From my perspective here, I would simply say this, that I think that we're getting maximum cooperation from the FBI, somewheres in the bowels of the Department of Justice. One of two things: either it takes a long time to go through this stuff, or they're looking for an excuse not to give it. But quite frankly, we've got to have the Attorney General jack the people up that are under her, that are keeping us from getting these documents. And I made that statement not only to you just now, but in one of our hearings within the last 2 weeks, made very clear that this is something that we're trying to get out to the public to make sure all the wrong that's been done to President Trump over the last 10 years, and for the historical reason to make sure it doesn't happen again. We want this out, and I would think that it would be in Trump's own interest to tell the Justice Department that this stuff ought to be made public so that we never have it happen again, not just to him, but to anybody else.
Thank you much.
A good presser. All right. Well, I guess we better speed forward and get to the rest of the day's news here, so. Okay. Hold on. Thing officially pressing fresh here. He'll pick up. Gosh, that's quite a bit. We'll pick up there.
He's finalized details of a trade agreement with
$350 billion.
South Korea following his meeting with the president there. And now our president says that he's confident he can strike a deal with Chinese leader Xi in their high-stakes meeting that will happen later tonight. Lucas Tomlinson on the road today in South Korea. Lucas, hello there.
Jinping.
Well, good morning, Bill. President Trump has arrived here in South Korea with all the pomp this country can muster, including fighter escorts, the red carpet, and just moments ago, President Trump announcing that the U.S. and South Korea have inked a $350.
When's the meeting with Xi supposed to happen? Is that I hear him say tonight. I thought it was tomorrow, but.
I know Kim Jong-un very well. We get along very well. We really weren't able to work out timing. We have President Xi is...
So So no meeting with Kim Jong-un.
Coming tomorrow, and that was something that obviously is very important to the world, to all of us. You'll be watching very carefully. We're meeting right here, and we're all looking forward to that. I think it's going to work out very, very well for everybody.
Interesting. All right. AI chip giant NVIDIA becomes world's first $5 trillion company. Good golly. Jeff Zients, Biden's former chief of staff, personally approved the use of the AutoPen for executing the Fauci pardon. Ha ha. Wow. Unless there's a documented and verifiable chain of authorization originating with Joe Biden, that could become a major problem. Yep. In the meantime, the statute of limitations keeps running, so it would probably be wise for some U.S. attorneys to secure indictments now to prevent the clock from expiring once the pardon's invalidated. You bet. Hey, there's Eagle Ed. Ed knows what's going on. See what I mean now? If the pardon, quote unquote, was issued by someone other than Joe Biden, all bets are off. Oh, Ed's been a busy beaver. Yes, he has. There's a reason they stuck him in the pardon office, man. Love it. Okay. Jim Jordan with Steve Bannon here.
Just to underscore what you're saying, think about what they did. The January 6th committee did all these, I think 180 different subpoenas, did all these interviews, transcribed interviews they had. They got the transcript there under these depositions, and then they just turn it over to Jack Smith. I mean, so like Jack Smith didn't have to go get a warrant to get the documents that the January 6th committee got. He didn't have to subpoena and depose these people. The Congress did it. The January 6th committee, that partisan committee, did it and then turned it. This is how the top people in the Congress, the top people in the Justice Department, as you pointed out, Jack Smith, the special counsel, all were on this mission to undermine and get President Trump and get people who supported President Trump. And today we're learning with these new documents we got from the FBI, again, just how broad, just how expansive it was. And it was literally, it's all the people. And you can go back to what Tulsi gave us this summer when she declassified that report from the House Intelligence Committee, which demonstrated that Brennan lied to us in his deposition. But also in that report, you realize what they did in 2016, December 2016, after Election Day, but before Inauguration Day, they changed the report. They changed the intelligence community assessment, and they did it after a meeting at the White House with Obama, with McCabe, with Clapper, with Brennan, with Lynch, all these key people. They changed the report, all as an effort to go after their political enemies, to go after you, President Trump, and so many others. And that's why it's wrong. And that's why it's so important they be held accountable.
Chairman, Comer's been doing a great job. Now we have oversight today with this 100-page report. Do you believe, as you're going through and looking at January 6th, looking at this, do you think with the AutoPen, do you think the pardons that Nancy Pelosi and her staff on the J6 and Liz Cheney, all of them, shifty shift, they all ran over to the White House to get a pardon, to get a preemptive pardon, a preemptive blanket pardon? Do you think there's any possibilities that those
Remember Schiff pretending he didn't want one? Remember that bullcrap?
Are going to kick in as you send these over for criminal referrals?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. What I do know is the entire country learned in that debate, in the run-up to the, when they decided Joe Biden was going to get pushed aside, they were going to bring in Kamala Harris. Everybody in the country knows the president wasn't up to the task. Now, the president subsequently told us, there was a process in place. Certain protocols had to be met before pardons were signed by the AutoPen and commutation, whatever. Okay, maybe, but the country instinctively understands he wasn't up to the task, and there were all these pardons done after that debate. That's the key question. So now it'll be up to Attorney General Bondi, Deputy Attorney General Blanche, and what they decide to do with the Justice Department. But I have the utmost confidence in them. And you mentioned the folks who ran the Justice Department prior. What a difference. It's night and day, Steve. Night and day between Merrick Garland and Pam Bondi. Night and day between Chris Wray and Kash Patel. And we've worked with the Justice Department. We're getting it. That's why we got this information. We didn't get this from Chris Wray on this Arctic Frost investigation. So we'll see on the auto pin. What I know is, I mean, I guess my main takeaway is I still go back to that debate when President Biden said he was an 8 handicap. Right? I mean, he couldn't get off his bicycle without falling, but he was and I feel bad saying it because you feel for
hilarious.
You don't want your president to be in that kind of state. But when he said he was an 8 handicap, and the whole country says you're saying you're an 8 handicap, and yet everyone knows that's ridiculous. The president said that's ridiculous, and yet you're getting all these pardons signed after that performance, after that debate. That to me is the underlying concern.
Indeed. New documents prove Benny Thompson and Liz Cheney were working hand in hand with Jack Smith. Of course they were. They were all circle jerking it behind the scenes. You know it. President Trump just demanded prison for Jack Smith after it was revealed over 160 Republicans were investigated for no valid reason whatsoever. These thugs should all be investigated and put in prison, a disgrace to humanity. Deranged Jack Smith is a criminal. One of many.
Democrats are still out trying to convince you that this is somehow Republicans' fault.
Johnson on the shutdown.
But the facts are the facts, and the American people can see that very clearly. They see the truth. We brought you a handy scorecard here so you can, follow the votes. I mean, this is very simple. The votes to pay the troops and federal workers and continue SNAP benefits and get air traffic controllers and Border Patrol agents paid. This is the vote tally. You see the dates here. The House did our work back on September 19th, and we voted. Republicans voted yes. Democrats voted no on all those things. And the Senate has now done it an additional 13 times. These are the votes. No one can say that this is in any way the fault of Republicans. We have a clean, simple bill, and everybody knows it. House and Senate Democrats are openly admitting that this is their shutdown. You have seen the highlight reel of all of them stumbling into admitting that. And yet they're also incoherently claiming that the shutdown is somehow on the fault of the other party. And the people aren't buying it. And that's why the polling continues to show that the approval of Republicans in Congress is rising with each passing day. And the Democrats, at the same time, Democrats in Congress have the lowest approval rating they have ever had since polling began, since recorded polling began on these metrics.
Think about that.
The rules, the procedures in the Senate by which we operate and are governed require a 60-vote threshold. So it takes more than 51, meaning, since we have 53 Republicans, it's going to take a handful of Democrats. Well, we've been able to generate 55 votes consistently now, 13 different times, for funding the government, opening up the government, but we need 5 more. So the question is, are there 5 people over there with a backbone, 5 courageous Democrats, 5 Democrats who don't buy this, who don't believe that they ought to be using the American people as
there are none. There are 0.
Leverage, try and win a political battle? Are there 5 Democrats over there who believe that we ought to do what's in the best interest of the American people, the best interests of the air traffic controllers and the TSA agents, and the men and women in uniform, and the SNAP recipients that's starting on Saturday?
Not a single solitary soul, no. Nowhere to be found.
The time to bring the House back to pass a new CR with a new date is fewer than 3 weeks, enough time to finish appropriation.
Wouldn't that be a futile exercise when we have a CR that's been sitting over there since September 19th? If I brought the House back and we passed another CR, it would meet the exact same fate from Chuck Schumer. He would mock it, they would spike it, and they would try to blame it on us. So what would be the point of that? We're all concerned about the timing. The Democrats are eating up the clock. We have very important work to do here, and that's why we're pleading with them, not Chuck Schumer. Look, I think Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are irredeemable at this point. I don't think they'll be able to tell Mondami in New York and his disciples that they voted to open the government. I've given up on the leadership. So we're trying to appeal to a handful of moderates or centrists who care more about the American people and will put the people's interests over their own and do the right thing in the Senate. I mean, there's no point in me sitting down with Chuck Schumer. He's painted himself into a corner. I get all that. Mamdani it looks like he's going to win and be the mayor of New York City. And Hakeem
Scary thought.
Jeffries came out and endorsed him. That's all you need to know. Hakeem Jeffries is terrified that Mamdani, one of his disciples, is going to challenge him in his own seat in the election next fall. You've already seen that rumored. Some of you have reported on it.
Oh, of course he's going that way.
So he had to do it. He had to endorse
They're
social.
going to take that asshole as far as he can go.
He had to endorse Marxism, this dangerous ideology that's taken over the Democrat Party. That is what is motivating them. So it doesn't matter what we do in the House. It doesn't matter what we pass. We have to get a handful of moderates over there who care about America to do the right thing. We need at least 7 Democrats. It takes 60 votes in the Senate to pass it. This is not the Republicans. This fault is squarely on the shoulders of the Democrats, and they're the ones causing you the pain. And don't.
I think we saw that one the other day. Another California truck driver pulled over, this time in Arkansas, unable to speak basic English or read any common traffic signs. That's comforting.
Is there anybody else?
Is his name Singh?
All right. You see this sign?
Yes, sir. I do not see.
Over. What's that sign say?
What means see?
This word?
Oh, and you got a Chinese one this time. Whoa, it's not a Sing.
Yeah.
Going to the Chinese ones.
Billboard, no parking. Maybe Arkansas exit, no parking.
Okay. So when you see
no parking
this sign, what do you do?
Oh.
No parking.
No parking.
What do you do?
No park.
No parking.
No parking.
Okay. Does that mean you can park your trucks there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No parking. Good golly. Well, at least this one didn't kill 3 people. Yet. Gosh darn it. I don't know where our spot went here. There it is. Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, accused the Trump admin of... I'll just let him say it. Oh my God.
No one is going to convince me what the Trump administration is doing against black people and brown people can ever be justified.
What would that be, precisely?
It is racist. When you have black babies being thrown in the back of vans.
Yeah, are you suggesting the Trump admin is chucking black babies into vans? It's chucking black babies into vans.
Tied in the middle of the night.
Zip tied. It's zip tying the babies and chucking them into vans.
And mass.
The black ones.
Men sticking guns in the faces of black and brown people that is nasty, is vicious, is racist. Dr. King described it as an evil. Militarism and that formation is an evil. And no one is going to convince me.
Now he's quoting Dr. King. He thinks he's a modern civil rights hero. Right, sure. That's why he wears the glasses. So you can tell he's smart. Judge bans Trump prosecutor's title, but allows him to serve. Oh. Isaili. Bilal Isaili.
Go wrong! Get the fuck out of my city! You motherfucker! Get out of my city! No!
It's your city?
My fucking city!
Put a bra on. Have you ever heard of a thing called a bra? Pick those breasticles up off of the ground, just bing! Fantastic item. Pick it up.
You fucking traitor!
God bless ICE.
And the funny thing was her husband or whoever the dude was in the car is like, go to Ross. Get him at Ross. Go to Ross. Go to Ross. Poor guy. Imagine having to be married to that. Oh, sorry, buddy. To the driver of that car. Sorry. Defend the homeland, baby.
Wow. That was really something. Nick Shirley in Portland now.
What do you think about these?
Where was that last one? Did you say where? Missed it.
What do you think about these protesters?
Oh yeah, I saw this guy. The Trump voter in Portland claims he's received a bunch of nasty treatment from people in the area over the years. Keep going. I already played it this morning. Okay, House employees just got an email stating October 2025 monthly pay disbursement scheduled for October 31st will be delayed until further funding is enacted, according to a House source. Oh no. More of the activists left attacking ICE for removing criminals. Where is this? Houston? Yeah. Ah, they just get vulgar. Holding an infant, too.
It's already been reported once. We were attempting to make an arrest of him at a different location. He fled to here and then got inside the house and barricaded himself.
Oh, nice.
And so he fled in a vehicle?
Yeah, first in the vehicle and then on foot into the house.
Copy.
You just barricade yourself. You'll make it. It's fine. It'll end fine. You'll make it out.
At that point, we've connected with local law enforcement to make sure we can secure the scene. Obviously, as you can see, there's a lot of folks here that are trying. They are upset. And so we want to make sure everybody's safe, the public, the officers, and the individual that's barricaded himself inside the house. And right now, I'm sure they're making a plan to go in there safely and get him out so that nobody gets hurt.
I think two things. One down, probably over there. On this side? Yeah.
Well, they got him, huh? Oh no! Just do it. Adios.
All right, that's clear. That's clear. That's clear. Let's go.
Oh my goodness, what a shit show. Oh, well, speaking of shit shows, here we go. Michelle.
Hair as women of color, that the way our hair naturally grows out of our head, it's beautiful, but if
it's beautiful, but
we struggle to make it look like the standard, that means we are
well, why do you do that?
Spending
that makes you stupid, doesn't it?
Thousands of hours.
I mean, just what are you doing? Why you yourself are doing it with your own hair right there.
Hours and lots of money straightening out what is naturally curly hair.
Why? I don't care what you do with your hair.
Right. And that takes time out of your life. It costs money. Hair as women of
just let it go just throw it out. Like, no one cares. No one has ever cared about that. Delusional. Brett Horton, Steve Scalise's longtime chief of staff, is leaving Capitol Hill. Interesting. Wow, 15-year chief of staff. Suspect arrested and charged with a felony after shining a laser pointer at a police aircraft in Marion County, Florida. Not a smart move.
think that's you guys.
Yep. Put your hands behind your back.
Oh, wait.
Nope.
Wait.
Stop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Put your hands behind your back or you're going to get tased.
I didn't know.
Put your hands behind your back. Get on your knees. Put your...
Please. I just
Put your hands behind your back. Do it now.
Please, what? I didn't know. Yes, you did.
What?
Yes, you did.
Hands behind your back, and you're gonna get.
Don't pretend you didn't know.
No, it's okay.
Then put your hands behind your back.
I didn't know I could not sign a high-powered laser at airplanes, sir. Oh, please.
Do it now.
What did I do?
Do it now.
What did I do wrong? I'm sorry, sir. Please, sir, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you guys.
No.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know it was you guys. As though that's the problem. As though that's the problem with shining a high-powered laser at a freaking airplane. It's that it's the cops. That's what you think the issue is? Is that it's the police?
What did I do? Did I do something bad?
Yep.
Well,
stand up.
You guys are looking for somebody or something?
10-15.
Yeah, for you.
I just was looking at the stars really, and I saw you guys.
Yep.
And
Looking at the stars with a lazy pointer?
I did something foolish.
Oh, si, senor.
I didn't see you. I'm sorry. Simply, please give me a break.
I did not see you with your lights on in the sky.
I'll be in trouble ever.
Well, you did today.
I'm sorry.
Pair of binoculars, a flashlight, and a high-powered laser pointer. Look at that thing, it's so strong you can see the beam.
What he had in
Shit.
his hand. Air one on 1061 of a laser.
It's really silly. I want to look silly.
Well, silly sometimes costs you. Silly sometimes costs you a felony. So.
Oopsie. How about a deportation? Can we deport him too? Does he belong here? If not, he gots to go. Wannabe teenager Antifa member assaulting Hernando Arce in broad daylight. Oh, I saw this one.
What program did you come under? They speak perfect English. This
Yeah, look
is
at
not
this.
something's wrong here.
Perfect English.
Here, they're at a migrant check-in center, ICE check-in center. They speak perfect English. One of them has a little pet.
Just wait.
She might be a teenager.
Watch this
Now
one.
she's cursing.
Watch the big one. Just
I mean,
wait.
that's not very ladylike to curse at me.
Well, it's not very manlike to be aggressive.
Zero self-control, man. Kids these days. Justice Department Civil Rights Division, according to Harmy Dillon yesterday, sending monitors to New Jersey and California to ensure election integrity. Oh. Let's hear it.
And sometimes we get requests as the Department of Justice in elections from candidates, from campaigns, from sometimes state officials to send monitors into elections to ensure integrity, particularly in areas where there may have been questions about it or a history of noncompliance with our federal voting rights laws. And so this DOJ Civil Rights Division is sending election monitors to Passaic County, New Jersey, and to several counties in California where we've been requested to. This has met with some resistance by some state officials. Governor Newsom has gone nutso criticizing this, but I don't recall ever hearing him object or prior Democrat governors objecting when the Democrat Department of Justice sent election monitors to these jurisdictions. And so turnabout is fair play. We're just responding to requests from folks. I don't know why anybody should be concerned about federal monitors when this is something that's been done in many elections in the past. And so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Oh, goody.
It's amazing what happens when you start to enforce the law against blue.
Wonder what they'll find.
States
Wonder
they
what
don't
they'll
like
see.
it. It's really interesting.
Pentagon orders managers to fire civilian workers with speed and conviction. Just get them gone. 26 dead in Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa so far. Now making landfall in Cuba. Ouchie. Let's see some of this. Hurricane Melissa. Okay. Show me, por favor. Almost apocalyptic.
The images we're seeing from neighborhoods in Jamaica in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa reveal absolute destruction. Gates of homes immersed in murky waters. Driveways and the roads beyond them invisible. Joining me now is Lisa Hanna, a Jamaican resident and former Jamaican politician stuck in Florida right now, waiting for word on when she can return home. Lisa, it's good to have you here. I know you've been talking to folks on the ground in Jamaica. What are you hearing? What are they telling you? And can you reach everybody you want to hear from?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the program. Yes, my flights were canceled on Sunday morning, and a number of us as Jamaicans are stuck in the United States. What we're hearing on the ground, for those of us who can get in touch with family members, is the devastation is almost apocalyptic. So the south of the island and the western sides of the island, you know, if you're familiar with Jamaica, places like St. Anne, Trelawney, St. James, Montego Bay, Hanover, and certainly in St. Elizabeth, those are areas that tourists would frequent. Those were the areas where the eye passed over and were hit hardest. Certainly the eastern side of the island, places like Kingston, where about 1 million Jamaicans live, and places like St. Mary and St. Thomas and parts of St. Catherine were not as badly damaged. But certainly we've seen hurricanes before as Jamaicans and tropical storms. We've never seen anything like this. Certainly roofs are completely gone. Roadways are completely gone. People are now getting out there. But the community spirit in Jamaica is very, very high. We're resilient. We're courageous people. The government has now given the all clear for utility systems to get back up and running, for supermarkets and different places of, you know, essential items to start opening up again. And our response teams are on the ground, our police are on the ground, our army's on the ground. So the relief efforts have started, and in Jamaica we have pretty advanced legislation. So what you will see now is almost a parallel activity. You'll see people being rescued in places where there are landslides, especially in rural areas. You will see food items being taken to people, you know, being given medication, etc. And in tandem with that, you'll see the utility companies starting to assess where they can turn electricity back on, and you'll see roads being cleared. And so that is.
The images we're seeing from neighborhoods in Jamaica in the aftermath.
Two suspicious-looking Middle Eastern military-age men waiting to be called at the San Antonio ICE check-in center.
These two men look, they're like Middle Eastern, Pakistan.
He just said that right there. I love it.
Maybe Afghanistan, I don't know, Afghanistan. But Afghanistan, they will be in a refugee program.
Do we get an actual look at their faces? Anywhere?
My mom, Mr. Brown.
Nope.
Refugee program, so I don't think they would be here. But they do look Middle Eastern.
Could be.
Jordan, Egypt, Iraq.
Get him out. Get him out of here, man. So sick of this stuff. Woman says she'll start eating white people. Like literally eating white people? Like with a fork? If EBT is taken away.
I just wanted to come real fast just to make this video, just to make something very, very clear to the white man. Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance.
Then why are you making the video?
Because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. We were not Never able to depend on
I'm just gonna hold my tongue on this.
the government in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. But I'm here to let you know that
Nobody wants to do that to you.
are going to eat regardless, even if we have
I want you to eat and eat well and eat healthily.
to hunt you
Like, in what world does this happen? It's so cooked.
animals down and roast and eat you, the delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to. Trust and believe me. And if it takes
Best
this
trust and believe that.
government shutdown for black people to finally come from under the government and understand that we don't need to be paying our taxes into this government, what we really
You don't need to do what? Your taxes?
need to be doing
I don't think you anything taxes. Other than just, well, you eat taxes, you eat them up.
is taking care of one another, buying land and growing our own food and building our own nation. If this government shutdown and starvation is what it's going to take, then let the party begin.
Okay, where does this one live? It looks like you walking the walk or just talking the talk. And it looks like, oh, she's in the projects.
Let the party begin. It's Black Power, baby, and we rise.
Oh yeah, there's a whole account collecting them now. EBTs of TikTok. EBT of TikTok, rather.
Does anybody else think that on October 31st, Trump is gonna somehow have found money from somewhere because he moves funds around and
No.
they are not going to take SNAP benefits away? So
No, they're gone. Bye.
then he could come off like this hero and, oh my God, I did it. This is me. You're welcome, everybody. When truly, like, it's him and his people that are the ones who have caused all this chaos.
How do they do it?
If they don't want to put food on our table, then we don't need to be putting no money in their pockets. Effective November the 1st, Thanksgiving is canceled, Black Friday is canceled, Christmas, as well as New Year's Eve. And please do not forget tax season as well.
Nope, all that shit's still going on. And I'm buying stuff on Black Friday just to spite you.
Opportunity you get to go to HR, please go and make sure you file exempt all 2026. Do y'all realize how much we can crumble the system if we stop?
Yeah, with what again? What are you gonna crumble it with?
Stop spending money for an entire week.
You're gonna stop spending your EBT money?
Better yet, an entire month. How about starting November the 1st, y'all? We stop paying mortgage. We stop paying rent. We stop paying
Who's paying that shit for you?
all of our bills. Who gonna come and evict us? Because the way that they laying people off, and if the people just go ahead and walk off the job, we ain't gotta worry about nobody
Must be
coming
nice being able to get a mortgage these days, lady.
to kick us out. Who gonna be in the leasing offices? You understand where I'm coming from? Who gonna be working at the banks? Okay, y'all, we gotta start using this situation to our advantage. The system as we know it
oh my God, what a thing to say.
at the banks. Okay, y'all, we gotta start using this
You've got to start
situation to our advantage.
using the situation to your advantage. Your entire life consists of using the situation to your advantage. That's you.
The system as
That is everything that is you.
we know it is crumbling. A lot of
There is nothing else but that.
us been asking for this so long, and now that
You take and you take and you take and you use and you use and you use and you give nothing in return. Ugh. Golly. Can't freaking end soon enough. All right, where were we? We get more EBTs.
Hi, you guys. I'm out of the store. So they wanted $7 for this. Mind you, I don't have food stamps anymore. They cut me off. So I only had $22 left in food stamps. So this is what I stole. Okay.
Hey, TikTok, here's all the stuff I stole.
They wanted $9
Here's my face, by the way.
for this. I said,
Did she happen to give her real name as her username?
I don't got $9. Then they wanted $2 for this. They wanted.
Oh, you stole all of that too?
Sorry, it's all fucked up because it's been in my purse.
Yeah, because you stole it.
$7 for this. I'm making some stuffed salmon today. These are needed. I'm not paying $7 for that. Okay. Let me show you the most important thing to me. Short ribs.
Goddamn short ribs. Oh shit, girl.
Take off the label so that you don't beep.
Mm-hmm.
Get your
That's right.
fucking meat.
Get your fucking meat. Shit.
How many do you think that I got?
At least 4, girl. Bring them things in there.
How many short ribs is that? And can I be real? More of y'all bitch ass niggas should have started taking shit from the motherfucking corporations a long time ago. Y'all just didn't have that shit in your motherfucking bones. Get out there and get in the motherfucking field like I told you. Everything out here is yours. Whether or not you take it, they call that shit free will.
That's real talk, nigga.
I call that shit eminent domain. You know what I'm saying? One thing I
Did she just eminent domain that shit?
learned from the white men, take it! Yeah, now!
You realize that when eminent domain is employed, that they pay the person what the property's worth, right?
Take it! I don't give a fuck who's already sitting there. I don't give a fuck if the land was already established. Bitch, it's mine now, and I want it. That is what we should be preaching in the land to the fucking masses. Act more like a white man. Take it for yourself, bitch, and you won't be worried about who don't got it. You see what I'm saying? Get out there and radish.
So you won't mind if we just take her right back then, right? Along with throwing your ass in
Last but
jail.
not least, go in that church and infiltrate. Don't be stupid. Get in there.
Don't be stupid. Like, for example, posting video evidence of your crimes on TikTok.
Ask them for some rent money. Ask them for some help. You been tithing? Say your lights is off. You need a stipend. You need some food.
I can't even tell if this is a joke anymore. Is this real? Is this real life?
If the pastor don't help you out,
and then I remember how stupid most of these people actually are. Yeah, and yes, they very much are real. They're everywhere.
blast them on social media. Quickest way to fuck up the church's money is ask for some. Go do it. See what you get. Report back to a real bitch. Let me know. If the church doesn't help you after all those tithes you gave, well, go ask for your tithes back. See if they can give you a donation form and they can just redonate your money back to you. See if they can do that. If they can't,
oh my God, that's sinking. I mean, the rest is bad enough, but that's just low.
Personally, I don't look at a crime. If you're going into Target, a multi-billion-dollar company, and stealing clothes, it's not a crime. You're resourceful.
It's not a crime?
Hell no. You're resourceful as fuck. You're homeless.
That's where we disagree, I think.
You've been displaced. I mean, because you're white and I'm black, there's a whole nother socioeconomical piece that I have never had access to. So you can go into any
Such as what?
single place and put your name on a piece of paper, apply for that job. You're not worried about
You can do that.
if your name sounds too black.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried about whether my skin's white. I'm worried about whether my skin's white because if anyone that happens to have brown skin and an Indian name applies for the job and happens to come with an H-1B visa, well, they're getting the job.
You're not worried about if when you show up, if you got to do something with your locks because it's inappropriate. Target enslaved my ancestors a year ago.
Target?
Target!
What did Target do?
If we really want to break down every single system that has truly impoverished our community, enslaved us, taken money from our families, and then displaced us as if now we're the burden to this entire city. That was one.
Where has this happened anywhere? Ever.
It's 40% black.
Sure. But what did Target do, and at what point do we not uphold any values when we lead to...
At what point do we not uphold Target to then give back all of their funds that they can easily get back?
But if we steal from Target, then we steal from CVS, then we steal from Walmart, and then the Walmarts leave, and then all we have...
But we built it.
No, but then all we have are corner stores.
You built what? You built what?
In Oakland, when we
Black people built what?
run out all these large businesses.
Built what? I don't know what the argument. What's the argument here?
Right?
Our corner stores are mom and pop's own. They're black and brown owned. We don't steal from our corner stores. That's the crazy part.
Except for when you do.
Security footage shows a man walking into Ideal Market in Oakland and seconds later ripping out the store's ATM. It happened around 10 p.m. Thursday night while the store was still open with an employee inside.
We have ATM as a convenience for the neighborhood, for the customers that come here.
But
we could walk into a
let's
corner
take Walmart's in Chicago.
Okay.
They're gone. Why are they gone?
Whose fault is that?
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
People stealing from Walmart.
Why?
Which people?
Walmart come into an urban city already and displace thousands of black people in an area where we
it's white people.
needed housing first. Once we have housing, you can sustain
Fried. Deep fried.
yourself from there on in. Walmart.
Wow, man. That is scary. That there are people like that. That is just terrifying. That is dumb. Dumb. Trump on Marine One as Tokyo Tower shines red, white, and blue behind him. That's a pretty stinking cool photo. Neato.
The Department of Interior is mad at the barred owl because the barred owl's a better hunter. The barred owl is just a better hunter. That's just the way it is. You know, just like the Senate president is better looking than me, I accept that. That's the way God made us. God just made the barred owl a better hunter. And the Department of Interior is all up in arms. They say this is threatening the spotted owl.
What?
Now, the spotted owl isn't on the endangered species list, but they say this isn't fair. The barred owl is a better hunter than the spotted owl, and that's causing the spotted owl's population to decrease. So the Department of Interior, in its infinite wisdom, has come up with DEI for owls.
You're shitting me. What?
They come up with quotas for owls. The barred owl, because nature, God, whatever you believe in, made them better hunters, now has to give up its rights, has to give up its life, because the spotted owl is not as good of a hunter.
I'm sorry, are you saying that black people can't hunt, or what? Anyway, moving on. Nancy Pelosi, no King's protests were not political and were totally spontaneous and organic.
Because what I see the Democrats every day, you saw a march that was not political, and the value of it was that it wasn't political. No King's Day. It was spontaneous, organic, but everybody was there. And that's what's important, is what are the people thinking? What are they hopeful about? What are they willing to get out the vote for? Because what I see the Democrats every day, you saw a march that was not political. And the value of it was that it wasn't political. No King's Day. It was spontaneous or
Come on, Nancy.
Organic, but everybody was there.
Yeah, it just happened. And, it was not organized or anything. There weren't websites or reprinted signs or...
And that's what's important, is what are
organic.
The people thinking? What are they hopeful about? What are they willing to get out the vote for? Because what I see the Democrats every day, you saw a march that was not political. And the value of it was that it wasn't political. No king.
Freaking. Wow. GM to cut 1,200 jobs at Detroit electric vehicle plant and 1,200 more at Tennessee and Ohio battery plants due to slowing U.S. EV demand. Yeah. Well, demand for their EVs, anyway. Venezuelan illegal aliens in Chicago are receiving $15,000 in food stamps. $15,000. Oh. Plus another $5,000 on a debit card. You know, just in case they need drugs.
No, $15,000 in food stamps and $5,000 cash money. Every month.
That's right, cash money, girl.
Yes, and they're getting
Get yourself. I don't know how much drugs can $5,000 buy.
6
That buys a lot of drugs, doesn't it?
months free rent. But this was the first time I heard about it. Now that I've heard it's 2 years free rent, getting Section 8, first prioritized before the citizens.
So the Venezuelan migrants that are coming in here, they are getting 6 months free rent, $15,000 in food stamps, and on a credit card, $5,000. Cash. Oh my goodness. How do the people in Chicago feel about that?
Well, people are angry because there's a lot of people, you know, that need help with Medicaid and food stamps, and they get rejected.
Yep.
Tell me about the people that you've seen on the streets collecting clothes.
By my house, there's a Walgreens. There's a lot of families that go stand by the door with a pamphlet saying they need money and food. And they're Venezuelans getting money. And then they go in the bus and don't pay. Go in the trains, don't pay. And they're not getting in trouble for none of the wrong things they're doing.
Oh no, they don't bother.
They can commit a crime or steal something and nothing happens.
Nothing.
They get away with everything. By my house, a car passed by. It said Venezuela in the back. In the front windshield said Venezuela, and on the side of the window it said Cherndale-Rockland. And they drove by my house.
What the heck? That blatant? Ooh, Obama-linked Stanford Center held secret meetings with foreign governments to plot global internet censorship.
For public. In the spring of 2022, former President Barack Obama gave a major policy address at Stanford University's Cyber Policy Center, where he laid out a sweeping proposal for government censorship of social media platforms, including through the proposed Platform Accountability and Transparency Act. 6 days later, President Joe Biden's Department of Homeland Security announced that it had created a disinformation governance board to serve as an Orwellian ministry of truth with the clear goal of controlling the information Americans could access online. The heart of Obama's vision for internet censorship was legislation which would have given extraordinary powers to the U.S. government's National Science Foundation to authorize and fund supposedly independent NGOs to censor the internet. The DHS and Stanford Internet Observatory, which was part of the Stanford Cyber Policy Center, pioneered the censorship by proxy strategy as a way to get around the First Amendment by first demanding censorship of posts raising concerns about the 2020 elections, and then in 2021 of posts that promoted so-called narratives expressing concern about the COVID vaccine. The 2024
Oh. From the other day. Exclusive undercover footage confirming hideout location of Brazilian sex traffickers plotting Florida terrorist attack? What? Anaina Toledo and Leonardo Ramos now held in ICE custody after Project Veritas tip led to an FBI raid. Oh.
Well, there was a story out of Florida that just broke, I believe either Thursday or Friday, of 2 individuals who were in the country illegally who were planning a terrorist attack against a Jewish synagogue, against a Shabbat dinner. And you know who broke that story? This is a name you don't hear often on CNN, Project Veritas, of all places.
Last name or any chance?
Let me find out. It's Corona, C-O-R-O-N-A, Ramos, R-A-M-O-S.
Is it Leonardo Ramos?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I know who he is.
Okay, they don't know we're here. So what's best? If I leave it at the door and then just call later, or...
He can walk you to the room.
What the heck? Hi, Carol. This is Anina and Leonardo. We met at the lobby in the hotel, and you gave us your number. Let us know if you will accept our offer. We guarantee you will be well paid and will only work with the men you choose. You can take clients inside the hotel. Appointments take place in our room, and don't worry about documents. No one will ask you for your passport. The hotel manager helps us with everything. Oh, wow. How much do you pay per session? Underage girl responds. And like I told you, I'm 16. Is that a problem? It's not a problem. Our clients like younger women. You'll get, oh my gosh, $200 for each man you attend. And we keep the rest.
No, after you go. So they just checked in today. I thought my girlfriend. So, no, so they do a lot of accidents when you come to they don't leave when they come back. They stay.
So is that the manager then? This lady right here? Are they like in on this? Said she knew who it was. Creepy.
Well, he's been staying here for a very long time. Since I've been here for only 2 months. I've been working here for 2 months. Since I started working here, I've seen him. So he has left.
Plotting an attack on a synagogue and school? Heck? Jeez, what? Good golly.
Dupla brasileira é presa na Flórida acusada de planejar ataque a uma sinagoga em Orlando, na Flórida.
Well, damn it, I can't understand you.
Segundo a publicação
Speak English, please.
do grupo Project Veritas, os brasileiros Janaína Toledo.
Creepy. Oh, so an update, by the way, on going to Portland. I had to spend the day at the freaking DMV today. It was fun. I went to like go start preparing to like figure out getting over there, and then I realized that I can't yet because I don't have the real ID. I need the stupid little star in my ID. I don't have that yet. I have to have that now to travel as of what, like 5 months ago, like May. I forgot about that. So I had to go to the DMV today, and now I've got to wait 7 to 10 days for my freaking license to get here. They gave me a temporary, but you can't travel with that. So, ridiculous. Just, I hope that things have not wound down in 7 to 10 days' time. You know, I hope. A bit selfish, I know. But I hope things are still going. And no, I know, I thought about the passport too, but I unfortunately don't have a passport that is, at least not one that's still good. It's long expired, so. Unfortunately, that's out too. Yeah, sucks. Yeah, driver's license, yep. Junk Illinois says ID to travel, you mean a driver's license, yeah. So I had the old style ID without the real ID star on it, which I pushed it until literally like the last week. My ID expires in literally a week, so I pushed it till the last possible second. I really didn't want to do it. Didn't want to move to the real ID thing, but you know, oh well. Gotta be able to travel, I suppose. Doing what I do. I like driving when I can help it, but can't drive to Portland. I mean, I could, but it would suck. Let's see. We'll keep going for another few minutes here. 59% of all illegals. Oh, and by the way, if you want to continue funding, I can certainly still use more funds because the IRS just slammed me at the end of the month for the last year. I'm doing a freaking payment plan, so where's the donor box? donorbox.org/support-PSB. Get a good amount roll in since I've announced this. Pretty close, pretty much on the line. So any little bit more to help me just have a little eat would be good. I'd like to be able to eat more than ramen, like 7-Eleven ramen. Be nice. Okay, I dropped that out in DLive. Unfortunately, I can't drop it in YouTube. All right, let's see. Back to it. Oh my goodness! It's just been exposed that 59% of all illegals in the country are collecting food stamps, and that most of the people receiving food stamps paid for by U.S. taxpayers aren't even American. I saw the graphs on this. It's astonishing.
In this country need food stamps on a weekly. $45% on food. Are collected. Think about it.
Oh, I just realized I'm not sharing here. There we go.
Hardworking American taxpayer. There are 4.
Hopefully you guys were hearing that. At least. I wish I had the graph on hand. They didn't show it there, unfortunately, but it's bad. Like, both A, illegal immigrants, and B, legal immigrants, but people who are not citizens. Like, compared to actual U.S. citizens getting food stamps, it's nuts. It is, like, overwhelming. It's so not cool. Okay, U.S. penny is, oh yeah, they're phasing it out. That's right.
Yeah, remember when they was talking?
Penny production's been halted. Now major retailers such as Walmart have begun implementing rounding policies. Receipts will show rounding and will round up to the closest 5-cent interval. Round up?
Yeah, remember when they was talking about the pennies is going away? Well, I guess it must be going away soon because Walmart is already rounding up. They supposed to gave me 2
there's the rounding. Look at that.
cents back. And they rounded up to 3 cents and gave me 5 cents back.
Wow. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, interesting. What? Fascinating. The U.S. through Lockheed Martin and NASA completed the first flight of the X-59 prototype, a quiet supersonic aircraft built as a single prototype, marking a potential new era in passenger air travel. That is, it'd be a big deal. It was always the main hurdle dealing with continental supersonic travel. Why they restricted the Concorde just to overseas because of the boom. Funky looking thing, interesting. I want to see more. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Okie dokie. There we are. Anything else? What is this? Newly resurfaced video from September shows a member of the American opposition admitting how they have coalitions of insurrectionists who are planning the largest DC protest in American history starting on November 5th. What, this year? Or is this older? Let's see.
November 5th in Washington, D.C., the largest sustained protest in Washington, D.C.'s history. This needs to be what happens right now. Organizing millions of people to get to Washington, D.C., stand and surround the White House, surround the Capitol building, surround the illegitimately fascist Supreme Court, and not stop until the Trump regime is driven from power.
It was definitely this year then.
We start on the 5th, we go to the 6th, we go to the 7th, we go to the 8th, we keep pushing.
Interesting timing.
Every day, building and growing our numbers until masses of people are standing around the White House, around the Capitol building, around this fascistly packed Supreme Court until we drive the Trump fascist regime from power. Like I said, I'm with Carlos. We can't get washed away with trying to take on too much, trying to take on this and then that and then this, and trying to do everything all at once. We need to unify them. One simple demand. One simple demand is Trump must go now. Again, we cannot wait for election cycles, politicians, or the Supreme Court. We need to rise up into our millions right now, beginning on November 5th. Get to Washington, D.C. If you can't come organize with us, we're chartering a plane to get as many people as we can.
Well, dang. I definitely can't be gone for that. If this is actually happening, I got to be here for this.
You can't organize with us. Support our organization so we can send as many people that we can to get to Washington, D.C. We're a nationwide organization. We have coalitions all over the country. So
I mean, I'm going to have to be anyway because I don't think my license will be here until about November 5th. So
we need to stand behind this one simple demand. Again, it's very simple. Trump must go now. The fall of the fascist Trump regime begins on November 5th, 2025, which is the 1-year anniversary when this fascist regime took office. 20th,
September 20th?
September 20th is we are having an organizing draft to sign up on the Action Network. It's right here. So Saturday.
Freaking Action Network.
September 20th, 4 p.m. DM us at Refuse Fascism LA on Instagram for the location, or you can email socal@refusefascism.org.
I will definitely do that.
And then also you can go to the Action Network and also find it there and register for coming to
Oh, how nice.
this organizational meeting, which will
Oh, well, that's already happened. That's last month.
help us describe our causes of action and what we're going to do, how we're going to facilitate this demand and get as many people to Washington, D.C. as we possibly can.
So is this still happening? I wonder. You know, Laura? Heard anything about this?
Mm-mm. That's why I was like, I was going to look who posted that to grab that link, because it sounds like they're planning an insurrection to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth.
But they're not organized.
Yeah, my ass, right? Ridiculous.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The Action Network. Activism. Here they are. actionnetwork.org. Oh, well. Not organized.
Mm-mm. Totally organic.
They're not, they're completely disorganized organizations. It's, yeah. Crazy. All right. Well, let me pop my shirt off and pass it over to you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Been busy. It's funny how PSP works. It like comes in waves for me.
I know. I'm so happy to see how busy it's been lately on the back end. It's been so good.
Yeah, right.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure it's been a burden for you and Aaron,
Oh,
but
no.
It's good to see.
I'm used to it. It always works that way. PSP will always get a little bit more hectic in the summer because people have so much going on. So people need time off. So we scramble a little bit for coverage.
Yeah.
But as the weather gets colder, it's kind of funny. People it seems like they want to come indoors more. We have more outreach for hosts. We have more people that are willing to cover. It's getting cold.
Yeah, I think the return to YouTube's probably helped a bit too.
It will help massively. And the other thing that we've got cooking too, the public side, I think hopefully that will help extensively. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of worried about it, but
I know.
we'll see.
Well, we've got a plan, right? We're splitting it. They can't get both
I
of
do
us.
think that will be, because that was such a big part of how things worked before.
Did a lot for research and for participation.
Just participation and community. Yep.
We got a plan. Like I said, they can't get us both. Hopefully.
Yep.
Let's hope.
Exactly. We'll see.
I like your idea. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get to it. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a trip down the Blade. I was listening to your show the other day, and I was like, you know what? There's a good thing about the Blade in Sacramento. So
in California.
Yep. Because I've been kind of busy with the background stuff, so we're gonna take a little spin through the Blade.
Cool. Interesting.
All right, go get you some rest, man.
Will do. Yeah, have a good show.
All right, thank you, hon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. That does it for me. I don't have anything else for YouTube other than the fact that I still can't post on YouTube. Still can't do it. The assholes still have not fixed their bullshit. They are continuing to mess with me. Adorable. All right. Well, that does it for me. Guys. Wednesday, right? So tomorrow evening.